In the heart of the ancient world, a legendary tale has been passed down for centuries, captivating the hearts and minds of people from all walks of life. It is a story of courage, faith, and the triumph of the underdog, a story that has become synonymous with the power of believing in oneself. This is the story of David and Goliath, a tale that has been etched in the sands of time, a testament to the human spirit's capacity to overcome even the most daunting challenges. The story begins in the lush valleys of Israel, where the armies of the Israelites and the Philistines are locked in a fierce battle. The Philistines, a formidable and intimidating force, have been waging war against the Israelites for years, and it seems that the tide of the battle is turning in their favor. The Israelites, led by King Saul, are struggling to gain the upper hand, and it is in this moment of desperation that a young shepherd boy named David emerges onto the scene. David, a mere youth with a heart full of faith and a sling in his hand, is about to change the course of history. David's journey to the battlefield is not one of chance, but of purpose. He has been sent by his father, Jesse, to deliver food to his brothers who are fighting in the war. As he arrives at the battlefield, he is met with the intimidating sight of the Philistine army, and at their forefront stands the giant Goliath. Goliath, a towering figure of a man, is a fearsome warrior who has been taunting the Israelites for days, challenging them to a one-on-one battle. The Israelites, paralyzed by fear, are unable to respond to Goliath's challenge, and it is in this moment of silence that David steps forward, his heart burning with a fierce determination to defend his people. David's decision to face Goliath is not one that is taken lightly. He is, after all, just a young boy, and Goliath is a seasoned warrior. But David is driven by a deep-seated faith in God, a faith that tells him that he is not alone, that he has the power of the Almighty on his side. As he prepares to face Goliath, David is met with skepticism and even ridicule by the Israelites, who see him as nothing more than a foolish boy trying to take on a giant. But David is undeterred, his conviction in God's power and his own abilities burning brighter. With every step, the battle between David and Goliath is one for the ages. The two warriors face each other on the battlefield, the outcome hanging precariously in the balance. Goliath, with his massive size and intimidating presence, seems like an invincible force, but David is not intimidated. With a steady hand and a trusting heart, he reaches into his bag, pulls out a stone, and places it in his sling. The crowd holds its breath as David begins to swing his sling, the stone whirling around his head with increasing speed. And then, in a moment that will be etched in history forever, David releases the stone, and it soars through the air, striking Goliath with deadly precision. The impact is immediate and devastating. Goliath, the mighty warrior, crashes to the ground, defeated by a single stone. The Philistine army, demoralized and leaderless, turns and runs, and the Israelites, emboldened by David's victory, chase after them, routing them from the battlefield. David, the young shepherd boy, has emerged as a hero, his faith and courage inspiring a nation. But David's story does not end here. His victory over Goliath is just the beginning, a stepping stone to even greater challenges and triumphs. As we reflect on the story of David and Goliath, we are reminded that the power to overcome any obstacle lies within us. David's faith in God and his own abilities is what gives him the courage to face the giant, and it is this same faith that enables him to triumph. The story of David and Goliath is a testament to the human spirit's capacity to overcome even the most daunting challenges, to trust in a power greater than ourselves, and to emerge victorious against all odds. But the story of David and Goliath is not just a relic of the past. It is a living, breathing tale that continues to inspire and motivate us today. It reminds us that we all have giants to face, challenges that seem insurmountable, but it also reminds us that we have the power to overcome them. We may not have a sling or a stone, But we have something even more powerful: our faith, our courage, and our determination. As we journey through life, we will inevitably face our own Goliaths, challenges that seem too big to overcome. But the story of David and Goliath tells us that we do not have to be afraid, that we do not have to be intimidated. We can face our giants with confidence, knowing that we have the power of God on our side, guiding us, empowering us, and giving us the strength to overcome. The story of David and Goliath is a reminder that we are all capable of greatness, that we all have a hero within us waiting to be unleashed. It reminds us that our size, our strength, or our abilities are not the determining factors in our success, but rather our faith, our courage, and our determination. David, the young shepherd boy, was not a mighty warrior, but he had a heart that was willing to trust in God, and it was this trust that gave him the power to overcome the giant. As we reflect on the story of David and Goliath, we are reminded that our lives are not defined by our limitations, but by our possibilities. We may see ourselves as small, insignificant, or weak, but God sees us as mighty, powerful, and capable of greatness. The story of David and Goliath is a call to arms, a reminder that we all have a role to play in the grand drama of life, and that our faith, our courage, and our determination can make all the difference. In a world that often seems too big, too complicated, and too intimidating, the story of David and Goliath is a beacon of hope. It reminds us that we are not alone, that we have a God who is bigger than any giant, and that we have the power to overcome any obstacle. It reminds us that our lives are not defined by our fears, but by our faith, and that we can achieve greatness if we are willing to trust in God and in ourselves. As we come to the end of this journey through the story of David and Goliath, we are left with a challenge. What are the giants in our lives that we need to face? What are the challenges that seem too big to overcome? The story of David and Goliath tells us that we do not have to be afraid, that we do not have to be intimidated. We can face our giants with confidence, knowing that we have the power of God on our side, guiding us, empowering us, and giving us the strength to overcome. So let us take a step of faith today. Let us trust in God's power and in our own abilities. Let us remember that we are not alone, that we have a God who is bigger than any giant, and that we have the power to overcome any obstacle. Let us face our challenges with courage, with faith, and with determination, knowing that we can achieve greatness if we are willing to trust in God and in ourselves. If you have been inspired by the story of David and Goliath, if you have been reminded of the power of faith and courage in the face of adversity, then we invite you to like, subscribe, and comment below. Share your own story of overcoming a giant, and let us know how the story of David and Goliath has inspired you. Together, let us face our challenges with confidence, knowing that we have the power of God on our side, and that we can achieve greatness if we are willing to trust in God and in ourselves.